relatively recently we learned about Yehilat B'nai Shalom and Rabbi Travitsky. It was only less than 2 years ago. And it turns out that this shul is only a block and a half from where we live, and we're actually the closest members to the shul. As soon as we started going here, we realized that this was what we were looking for. This shul, at least from my perspective, and my wife's, ironically, because she comes from a very, very reformed background, spiritually is exactly what we were looking for.
I made the transition from going towards being Shomer Shabbos and being very comfortable at Kibbutz B'nai Shalom.
I would say about 3.5 years ago, my son was 12, and he said to me, "Daddy, for my 12th birthday, I don't want to go to the conservative synagogue anymore. I want to go to the Orthodox synagogue." He had been going to day school, and he was approaching his bar mitzvah year, and he didn't want to have a bar mitzvah with mixed seating and with a microphone. And he said for his 12th birthday, he wanted to come here.
So we have a place that we can observe, accordance with Torah.
I mean, I wasn't Shomer Shabbos. I'm still not totally Shomer Shabbos. We're working our way toward that, I hope.
And it's all of a sudden it switched from having to ask the rabbi a shaila about something, where I had an opportunity to learn the whole portion about that area.
We'd go house to house with a small group of people, and that was it. It was nice, but it wasn't enough, because you had nobody to ask questions of. You had nobody to hold the community together. Somebody would try to prepare a Dvar Torah or something, and so we'd teach each other, but there was nobody that really knew, or that you could really, look up to. And the community needs a rabbi, and the community needs a mikvah, and the community needs a shul. It's very basic.
And we went from house to house, beginning on a monthly basis, and then eventually getting every other week. And we sort of had a caravan, carrying all of our books and our pizza, and it was sort of like children of Israel leaving Egypt.
Before he came, we would go, every Shabbos, we'd go to a different house to have a minute.
We would go from house to house without a rav, without really a makom that we'd go to. It was very, very hard.
It's ending up being a journey and a great learning experience, because I knew nothing about designing mikvahs. I've been an interior designer for like 20 years, but I never designed a mikvah, nor was I ever in a mikvah until I started working with Rabbi Travitsky on this project. So I had to go through some little bit of research, and by research what I did was visit some existing mikvahs, one in Passaic and a couple in Brooklyn, and the ones in Brooklyn were the ones that the rabbi really wanted me to model this mikvah after. So I got acquainted with what they were like and got ideas of what he wanted from me and what he wanted to create. He wanted to create a beautiful space that would draw women that may not normally come to a mikvah. And that was his whole game plan here, was to make it so beautiful that women would want to come and try it, just for the luxury and beauty of it.
Wasn't crazy about the idea of mikvah in the first place, and I bless Rabbi Travitsky every time I come to this place. It's like gorgeous, and it's a pleasure, and it makes you want to come.
In New York, you have Rebbeim, you have people, you have Balabatim. You have, I'm sure, 1 million people that you, in the audience, can look to for an example of how proper midos, how derech eretz, how Torah should be lived day and night. When you don't have that, you need to import it. We've imported a kollel. Those men are the foundation.
I need a lot of help with davening I really can't read Hebrew, and everyone goes out of their way to help me feel comfortable, and I never feel like I don't know what's going on. And they're very, everyone has a unique style to learn with the color. I know they tell me they get a lot from me, but I think it's like a two-way street.
Coming from the conservative or the reform backgrounds, even if they have the desire to become more religious, don't have the education to become more religious, they don't have the knowledge. The Hillel coming in, frum Jews coming in from more frum communities, give us a base to work around. It gives us the spine of the community, so to speak. They're our teachers, our mentors, because without their instruction and without their examples, even with the best of intentions, we're kind of floundering.
I'm coming from a world that's foreign to Rabbi Nierenberg. And as I express some of the different decisions, problems that I might have had to deal with, instead of looking at me like it's beyond his belief, he can't handle, nor does he wish to handle such an issue, there's concern, there's feeling, there's caring. And many times he'll say, well, if he were in that position, that's exactly what he would have done.
B'Tselem has a unique opportunity to allow us to build an Eruv that would be acceptable according to all halachic authorities without relying on strings and things that have a potential of breaking and such. The reason being that the Neshaminy Creek, along its most of its length, have either natural walls or slopes that are deep enough to be considered as mechites, as walls to surround the whole area. Another part of the Eruv, about 50% of it, would be the fence that goes along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, making it completely reliable, full 4-foot fence that is already standing today and that we wouldn't have to build at all. So the only places where we wouldn't have to rely on Soras HaPesach, on poles with strings, would be in areas like this where the Neshaminy Creek, or where Route 1 that runs north to south does not have the halachic requirements for the slopes to be considered as walls, which is about 5 to 10%. Okay, this would allow more families to move into the community and strengthen the community by making the numbers greater. People would be able to carry on Shabbos, to go out with their children on Shabbos. This is something that is very important to people. People look at that before they make a choice where they're going to move. And now, being able to say that the Eruv is completely reliable and it's valid, acceptable according to all authority, would be a tremendous asset for the community.
Bucks County has like 50,000 Jews, and other than these shuls in Yardley, this is the only other shul in Bucks County to try to inspire, other Jews how to be more committed and how to be more spiritual.
We're actually learning through my children.
Spiritually, I was starting to feel at home for the first time, and I feel more connected to this shul than I've ever felt to any other shul. It's a nice feeling.
There's tremendous promise, tremendous hope that in the future we're going to really make a tremendous impact in Ben Salem.
Ben Salem is actually a spark. The fact that there's a little place like Ben Salem in the middle of nowhere where there could be a kollel and a mikveh and an Orthodox shul is inspirational to almost anyone who hears about it.
So there is a lot of, I think, potential in this community, economically, geographically, and demographically. I think it's in a good position to become a Torah community. Not to mention, also to mention the fact that it's fairly close to New York, it's fairly close to Lakewood, to Muncie, to other important Jewish communities, and that's good because you get the support system that you need. If we were in Nebraska, we might have less access to that.
We've gotten to what we are today.
We've come a long way.
There is so much more to be done. The need for an Orthodox day school in Bucks County, a school where teachers are told and encouraged to be Mekarev children, where hopefully through being Mekarev children and affecting children, they will affect families, parents, siblings, grandparents. Philadelphia is the stronghold of conservative Judaism in America. And the young Jews who grow up in Philadelphia and don't know anything about Judaism, and who are moving out of Philadelphia by the thousands. We know Rav Palm once said that the future of Eretz Yisrael will not be decided on the battlefield, but in the classroom. We certainly can apply that to Bucks County also. The attempt to reach these thousands and thousands of Jews must be accompanied by an attempt to build a proper Jewish day school that is geared to reaching out to these Jews on their level. 5 million Freie Yidden need to be addressed. Our own backyard has so many thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of Jews who know nothing about Yiddishkeit. We ask you to join us today to try to reach out to these Jews. The Rambam tells us, Asidim Yisrael Asis Tshuva, that Klal Yisrael has a haftacha. They will one day do tshuva, umiyad ben David ba, and immediately Mashiach will come. Anyone who's traveled outside the confines of a Frum Kehillah knows what a pella that is, to imagine that Jews who have no concept of the most basic parts of Yiddishkeit, the most basic parts of Judaism, will all come back to Judaism. It's amazing. But if the Torah promised, we know it will happen. But we must involve ourselves in it. We ask you to become our shutfim. We've accomplished so much in Ben Salem, but so much more remains to be done. We have a shul that, as great as it is on the verge of financial collapse. We must maintain it. We must establish its financial stability. We have a kollel which does such a wonderful job, but will not continue after Pesach unless we find backers. We ask you to join us today to bring this work and trying to be Mekarev the Geula and reach Achenu B'nai Yisrael, and we should all be zeicher to see the coming Mashiach b'meher b'yameinu.